What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Taking a look at the new Blue Eye support, and I was searching around the internet. I know these new cards got announced, and there's all these combos going around, but there are a ton of them to sift through. I found two of my favorites, mostly because I don't rely on these secondary engines. It's like just the Blue Eyes cards. Now, there's tons of other things that you could do with it. I saw someone use Centurion. I saw someone use the Hot Red support, which makes a lot more sense because it's dragons. Kind of feels like a lot, but let's take a look and see what we have here. So I'm going to show one with the Magia card, the Fusion, that's really, really good. And then I'm going to show another one that's essentially just a one-card combo. There's lots of one-card combos that kind of get you to the same place. I'll link where I found these combos in the description. I found them on Twitter from these Japanese accounts. So I'm not exactly sure how many people saw them. But in any case, let's go step by step. It's just hard to understand those videos because they go really quickly. The people do a really good job when they're showing the combo, but obviously when it's in a different language and you're not used to the cards, it can be kind of hard to understand. So let's go step by step here. So the first thing you're going to do is activate Melody of Awakening Dragon. So this is a really cool thing to start things off with because there's a new tuner that came out, which I'll show in just a second, but it essentially lets you set the True Light from the deck. And my first impression was, oh, that's the only place. You can't really run one copy of True Light. Otherwise, it could be a brick in your hand. But the new tuner actually allows you to activate it like face up from anywhere, your hand, deck, or graveyard. So this card's incredible. It's one of the best new pieces of support. You discard a card, you need to add a light tuner and a spell or trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand, which is unbelievable. So a level 1 light tuner is like, there's actually just kind of a lot of those, but of course you're going to go for the Blue Eye support. So one of those cards you're going to search is Ultimate Fusion. This is the one that lets you get the Magia card out, which is like a super mega Omni Negate with like 5,000 attack. Very, very cool. So you can go ahead and normal summon Sage with Eyes of Blue. So this is really important because this also adds a light tuner. So you kind of get a 2-for-1 type of effect here because you're adding a light tuner, and this one also searches another light tuner. So you can go ahead and add the new card, Maiden of White. So this is the one that lets it discard itself to activate the True Light. I thought this was what the card name was. The True Light, which lets you either special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or graveyard, which I guess is pretty cool. And you'll see it will come up in one of these combos. But more importantly, it lets you set a spell and trap directly from your deck that specifically lists Blue Eyes White Dragon in its text. So the problem with this card before, obviously, was just much too slow. But now that you can activate it straight up, this card's incredible because it searches every card in your archetype. All the important ones. So this is going to let you set another new card that just came out or is coming out. Saga, I'm sure it'll be a different name, but Saga Blue Eyes Dragon. Special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck, graveyard, or banishment in defense position. But you can only special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon with this effect if you do not control it. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except dragon monsters. No problem. Okay. There's another secondary effect with fusion summoning, but it won't come up here in this combo. You can only use one of these effects per turn. It's kind of unfortunate. But you can bring out the Blue Eyes, and then when Blue Eyes is special summon, you can bring this back from the graveyard. So this card has two incredible effects, especially when it comes to synchro summoning. So this has a secondary effect. It lets you target a Blue Eyes monster and equip a Blue Eyes monster from the extra deck to it as an equip spell. So that's important because the new fusion monster that's really good requires this as one of the fusion materials. And obviously, it's very hard to bring out naturally. So that, and then you can go into Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. Not necessarily too important. It is a level 8, so I guess that may come up, although we'll see. So this is it, the Dragon Magia Master. If you don't know what this card does, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can negate the activation if you do destroy that card. And you can do that to each type, monster, spell, and trap, each once per turn. Not one of them, you can do each of the 3, which of course is unbelievable. Besides being that high of an attack. So like I said, yeah, the Tyrant Dragon isn't too important other than the fact that it's a level 8. This is Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. This has been out forever. This is one of the most important cards in the deck. It's actually a really good card. It just requires a Blue Eyes monster, which now is very easy to do. And of course, you're going to use the Sage with Eyes of Blue with that card, and like not the Maiden of White. It does actually come up. So this card lets you tribute it to bring out a Light Dragon Synchro. Just cheats it out. Just freebie. So of course you can go into Crimson Dragon. Normally, like when I play the decks, when I play Crimson Dragon and other decks, I don't use the effect to search something, but in this case, you do want to. This is really just a Monster Reborn, and it's only after you use the effect does it lock you into Synchro Monster, so you can still do some other plays. So obviously, we search Levy in the very beginning of the combo. You banish 3 lights, and then you can bring back a light monster from your graveyard. Or it's any monster. You can special summon one monster from your graveyard, excuse me. Okay, so now Crimson Dragon, go ahead and target there. You can go into Trishula. It is a dragon. So you're going to rip a card out of your opponent's hand. And then you can go ahead and switch those two into Dispotter, which is the Trishula and the Maiden. Again, these are all dragons. So this lets you bring back a light or dark from the banish pile. So I guess, like, when you're doing the levy, just make sure you definitely banish the Blue Eyes White Dragon as one of yours, because you're going to need it. So you can go ahead and go into Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, which is a bounce, and now you can use the Monster Reborn. And then you can Synchro Summon one more time into Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, which of course during your opponent's turn you can use again. So you can go ahead and special summon the Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon can target the level 10 to go into another level 10 Synchro. So this is Majestic Star Dragon. This is a negate that destroys all of your opponent's cards when they use an effect. So this is an Omni Negate. This is a Omni Negate that blows your opponent's board up. This is a bounce, and then this is a Monster Negate. Haven't used the True Light too, so you can use the True Light, Monster Reborn, the Blue Eyes, and then the Blue Eyes is going to help trigger your Maiden of White, which has a really good effect that if it's targeted for an attack, it lets you bring a Blue Eyes out from the deck, so you can bring out like Jet Dragon or something. So just an extra layer of protection on top of everything else that you have. So that's the first combo. That was a little bit involved. Now there is one card combos. They aren't as good, obviously, but you can still do some really cool stuff. So you're going to go ahead and normal summon Sage, and then with that you can search the new Maiden of White. You know, White lets you set the True Light, and then you can set a trap. So you're kind of starting the same way a little bit. You just don't have those extra extenders as of right now. So Saga is going to bring out the Blue Eyes, which triggers this because the Blue Eyes was summoned. Now you can equip. Now this is important in a way. Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, you're like, okay, well, why wouldn't you equip the other one, the Ultimate Dragon, and potentially set yourself up for the Magia play? You're just not going to be able to get there in this turn. But Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon has this random graveyard effect that when a card or effect is activated that targets a Blue Eyes monster you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So it gives you targeting protection from the graveyard, just for free. So now you can go into the Blue Eyes Spirit, and then you can use a secondary effect. So you search the second copy of Sage with Eyes of Blue for this very specific reason. You can target a card, discard it, and if you do, special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck. This also triggers Maiden of White. So when it's targeted by a card or an attack, it lets you bring out it lets you special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon or a level Light 1 tuner from your graveyard. So you can essentially just bring another card back. So this is going to bring out the Jet Dragon from the deck, and then you can go into another Blue Eye Spirit. So the very interesting thing about this card is that it is a non-once per turn. So this is the new Synchro monster, and I don't think I showed this in the first combo. Your opponent cannot banish cards from your graveyard. I guess that's pretty cool. You can only use the following effects, so no Bestials, although if they were playing, they probably would have used them already. In any case, I guess it's just an extra effect. You know, very cool. But when a card or effect is activated on the field, a quick effect, you can negate the activation. If you do, this card gains 1,000 attack. And if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one light dragon monster from your graveyard. So tons and tons, obviously. You have options here. And then you can go into Crimson Dragon, so you get to cheat out another one. And then you can activate this effect, target this. You're searching follow-up, which is always cool. It's level 12, so you can go into Cosmic Blazar, which is always very nice. And then this obviously brings itself back every turn, and you don't just like use it once. So that's amazing. So like I said, during your opponent's turn, you can bring out Blue Eyes, which is going to bring out Maiden of White. So when it's targeted for an attack or card effect, it's going to trigger, lets you bring out Jet from the deck. This is an Omni Negate. This is an Omni Negate. So you do have yourself like in a very good position. And that was one card. That's obviously just like one card combo, which is very nice. So again, I'll link the Twitter pages where I found these. If you guys are interested in seeing like what other things they do on their page, I'm sure that's like a lot of their content. I just randomly saw it and I thought maybe a lot of people didn't. I didn't want to go overboard in the combos where you just add a bunch of like secondary engines because I feel like that can make it kind of bricky. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.